This is Tridib and you are watching a brand new episode of Learn with Tridib. In this episode, I will again teach you a very new aspect of Adobe XD, creating interactive components and various types of interactive components that we can create, maybe a toggle switch, a interactive button, a drop-down list, and the examples are endless. So how we create it? With the latest versions of Adobe XD, they have made the journey of the designer or the creator much more easier with already interactive states. Okay, so we will again go very slowly, step by step, to understand how easily we can create these amazing buttons, toggle switches, drop-down menus, and so on and so forth. But before we start, kindly request you to like, share, and comment on this video. And if you're new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get all our upcoming notifications. So without much ado, let's get started. So in this particular video, I will be doing multiple stuffs over here, all interactive components. So the first one that we will start and we will try to create is a toggle switch. So basically how toggle switch work is that it is only having two states, on and off, yes or no. So it is like a boolean, 1 or 0. So you have to have, so many of us have already seen a toggle switch. So basically you have a capsule sort of thing in which you have a circle inside and you can just click and the circle moves from one end to the other, giving you the state of yes or no, 1 or 0, or on and off. So let's see how we can create that type of capsules or that type of toggle switch. So we will just create a rectangle as usual, and we will just drag the corner radiuses to the maximum so that you get a capsule sort of shape over here. So let's zoom it a little bit so that we can see it much more clearly. And I will create a circle over here. Okay, like this. Okay, so this circle, eventually when you are doing a toggle switch, it moves from one side to other, showing whether it is yes or no, on and off, something like this. Okay. So what we have to again do, we have to press Ctrl D and then shift drag this circle so that we know, okay, this is the maximum size that in which this circle will travel. And I will delete this thing. So this shape is pretty good. Okay, and now what we will do, we can create a background for this particular thing. Say for example, I have this teal, very light teal sort of color of the background. Okay, and I prefer not to have borders. If you want to have borders, you can always go for borders. For the time being, I don't want borders, so I remove it. And even for the circle, I remove the border. So I have one state very clear. Okay, now I will select all of them and I will press Ctrl K to create it as component. So once you create a component, you'll see that the component comes over here. So you can name the component over here, say toggle button. Cool. Now this toggle button over here has a default state already, which is the first stage. Now if I click on this plus sign, and you see that Adobe XD already gives you a hover state and a toggle state. So hover state, in the hover state, what we will do, I will change the color of the background just to show that this is an active toggle switch. I double click till I reach the background color, and over here I will just drag the mouse like this so that I can take a darker shade of this color. Nothing else changes. And I can click on this again and click on the toggle state. When I click on the toggle stage, which is a click stage, what I will do, I will move this circle, double click, go inside. When you select the ellipse, then shift it to the right. And I can also make this background a little more darker, or I can give maybe a green state, stating that it is on or off. So the blue state is off, this green state is on, maybe. So the default state is like this. I click on the hover, it changes the color, becomes a little bit darkened, and then the toggle switch, which is a click state, which takes you to the other side. Let us play this button. Click on this thing, choose the default state and play this. So on hover, it changes the color. If I click on it, it changes to the other side. Simple and great. The best part is that once you create a component, you can use this component number of times without any problem and across all projects and across various artboards. Okay. Next thing that I would like to create is a button. Okay. Say this is a loading button and this is a hover state button. What I want to do is a hover state button. When I roll over on the button, from empty to the hover state, it gets filled. Okay, so let's see how I can create that button. Again, I will take a rectangle. Okay, and again I will drag the corners to create a capsule sort of shape. Even I can go inside a little bit, and if I want, I can just make it a little long or little in long in the x-axis. Okay, perfect. So let's take it, let's give it the center stage, bring it to the center. Next I will select a circle. I will create a circle and give it I will remove the border first thing, and I will give it a bluish tinge, a blue color. Okay, that's it. Keep it like that. We will not do anything over here now. Now also what I will do, I will create a text, maybe a right loading button. Okay, and I bring to the center, change the color, the same blue, and I just give a continuation triple dot. Okay, and I don't want this circle to be outside this button, so I will select this, Control D, and I will take it at the top. This I will name it as the mask. So your mask is there, your loading button is there, your ellipse is there, and the path is there. Okay, the path is the background. Okay, great. Selecting all these things, I will right click and click on mask with shape or Control Shift M. So you can see the mask is already inside the button. Okay, what we will do, I will just remove this mask outside this button for the time being, and I will also center this button to the bottom center, button center. Okay, now selecting all of them, I will hit Control K. What it will create, you see that the green border signifies that it has been converted into a button. Now our default state is on. I know that there's a loading button and I want to create a hover state button. So how do we do it? I click on add state and click on the hover state. Okay. So as soon as the hover state is on, now I will click in this component. Again, I will name the component as hover button 001. It's better to always name them. And I will go and click on the mask group. Great. So the mask group, in the mask group, I will click on the ellipse now. And what I will do, I will scale that ellipse very large towards, so that it totally encompasses the button. Great. And also another thing I have to do, the loading button, I have to change the color to say button loaded. That's it. Okay. Now let us see how we can animate these two stuff. Okay. So I'll go to my default state and this is my hover state, but it is just changing the color. I need the animation to also happen. So what I will do, I will select all of them together and go to my prototype. By default, the prototype clearly shows with this charging point sort of line. It clearly shows this is that it is activated button. So I click on the default state and by default it's hover is selected, is out, auto animate is on, and I can just change this thing to a 1 second so that I can see the animation. And also I can just put it an ease in, ease out so that the animation is smooth. Now let us go to the play button. Once I click on play and bring my cursor inside the button, see what happens. Wow. Lovely, isn't it? So this is another way you can create a animated button. So we have done two of our stuffs. Let's now create a slider menu system with a hamburger menu. Okay, so this is a little bit complicated. So all ears and eyes over here, please. So I will create a background slab like this. And I can give a different color, very light, subtle color. I can even give a small corner radius to it and remove the border from here. Lovely. And on this, I will create our hamburger menu like this. I will again, because for these things, we can go for a little bit of softer corners and all these things. And we'll take the same color. We can just create a subtle darker shade of the hamburger menu. We'll just drag this thing down like this. Okay. And we can group them. Okay. Control G. Lovely. Okay. And what we will also do, we will just Control D to duplicate this particular object and bring it in top of the group. And we name this as a mask layer. Okay, this is the hamburger. Okay, and this is the base. Lovely. So these things are done. Now selecting all of them, again, we will right click and create mask with shape. Okay, great. So our this mask entity is done. Now, very simple as usual, with this mask on, we will press Ctrl and K to create a component and see immediately the default state has arrived over here. But in the default state, I don't want this slab to be inside. So I will go inside till I reach the base. And I will move this base out from my mask area. Cool. So now I only have the hamburger menu. That's it. Cool. Now I will click and will go for the hover state. In the hover state, what I will do, I will go inside this group till I reach the rectangles. I'll just press the Control and scroll to so I will have a hover state like this. Okay, so it's basically like this. Lovely. And I will also add a toggle state that when this is clicked, what happens? When this is clicked, this particular slider, this particular slab, base slab, comes inside the mask. Okay, and also we will go inside this thing, dig deeper, and we rotate this thing like this. Cross, and we come out. So now we go to the default state, hover state, toggle state, default, hover, and toggle. But it is just changing the color. It is not giving me what I'm expecting. That is, the slider will come inside. So selecting the default state, let's hop into the prototype and see the prototype is already on. It shows that everything is functioning properly. Tap, hover, everything is happening. Now I press the play button and let us see what happens when I roll over. I hover on the hamburger. It gives a hover state. I click and this blue slab comes in from the back. Lovely, isn't it? So you can always make your hover button come in, slide in from outside based on the time slot you give. So if you click on the tab, it will go and select the time in a say 0.3 second. Over here we can make it say a little bit slower. So let's see what happens over here if we just change the timing. So like this, yes, see, so smoothly this happens. So when I click, it goes very smoothly and it comes inside. Okay, so this is the another one that we have created. Okay, with this process you can create drop down menus, you can create so many things that you really want to showcase in your Adobe XD file. So what's stopping you? Now you know how to create these amazing buttons, these amazing hover states, this amazing toggle switch, this amazing menu system. Why don't you try yourself to create a drop down menu and show it to me? I will be really happy to help you with your components. How much complicated it might be. Please send me to tridibghost2015@gmail.com with your XD files. I will try my best to make some time and share you the concept. If it is well, if it is great, I will showcase in my channel. And if there is some conceptual error, I can always guide you guys to create fantastic components. So if you really like this video, kindly like, share and comment on this video. And if you are new to this channel, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get all our upcoming notifications. Till we come again with another fantastic video. Goodbye and God bless.